Hello, this is Eric Merritt from Eric Merritt Sells AZ Real Estate, our YouTube channel, and Homes Florida Northeast Mesa. This is our Pinal County Cities Market Update for June 2021 that will cover the cities of Maricopa, Casa Grande, Coolidge, and Florence. The background that you see behind me is from the Gila River. I went here 5 years ago. It's about, the way you can get there is you take this road called Florence Kelvin Highway. It goes about 12 miles east from the Highway 79, which is south of Florence. And then you take this 12 miles east, and then there's a big boulder field off to the left of the road. On the north side of the road, there's a road that goes north a ways. And if you take that road far enough, you will run into the Gila River, which is where this is. So, it's a very nice place, very beautiful. You can camp out there. And then if you pass the Gila River there's the coke ovens on the other side. So this video, we're gonna talk about what's happened in all four of these cities, the average sales price, the monthly turnover rate, and then we're gonna go into the sales price to list price ratio and how many were active on a certain date. The second part are gonna be the highs and lows for each of these four cities and their stats, and then you can go to a link where if you copy the link, then you'll have access to all pictures and sold information for them. The third part is a new component for this video. I don't know if I'm going to do it for future ones because it did take quite a bit of work together. For different types of homes that were sold, different price categories from $150,000 to $300,000 on mobile homes, all the way up to single family homes at $5 million and above for the whole Phoenix metro area. So you'll see what the sales price to list price ratios are up to $1 million. And then when you get past $1 million, they finally start to go under 100%, all the way to 5 million at 94.1%. Then that's the sequel part of that is the most important part, especially for first time home buyers, is for mobile homes at 150,000 to 300. You'll see how many were sold cash and conventional versus FHA. Single family homes from 250 to 350. How many of those were sold FHA, cash and conventional? All the way up to $5 million were sold cash and conventional. 5 million, there was one sold on a mortgage, on a jumbo, and then the other 10 were sold cash. And then the last part is the market synopsis of the whole Phoenix metro area. How many are active on June 14th? And then how many have closed last month, and that determines your absorption rate right there. And then we're going to go into all four of the Pinal County cities and compare what happened with May 2021 with May 2020. And you will see average annual appreciation increases huge, like 30 to 40%, more than 40%. At Coolidge was close to 50%, believe it or not. So that's what's going to happen in this video. If you find this video interesting, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and share this video with your friends or anyone that you know, and we will get this video started. Thank you. Okay, Pinal County Cities Market Update. So Casa Grande had 168 homes that sold, 5 less than in April. 27 days on market at 101.6% of list price. The inventory rate stayed pretty much the same from 0.35 to 0.40. Highest sold was 675, the lowest was 38,000. Average sales price was 290,394. Only 68 were active on June 8th for whole of Casa Grande. Coolidge, 70 homes were sold, and a big bulk of this are new builds. 28 on average days on market at 100.1% of list price. 0.13, that's very, very low, from 0.42. 675,000 was the highest sold, 99,000 was the lowest. Average sales price is 241,118. Florence was 104 homes that were sold, 9 more than in April. 101% of list price. The monthly inventory rate stayed pretty much the same from 0.54 to 0.50, so 2 weeks supply. 590,000 was the highest sold. This was an Anthem at Merrill Ranch. 16,000 was the lowest. Average sales price was 286,481. 52 were active on June 8th. So these three cities here are the only three in the whole Phoenix metro area where the average sales prices are still below 300,000. but not too much longer for Casa Grande and Florence. Maricopa surpassed that many months ago. 210 were sold in Maricopa at 102.6%. The monthly turnover rate stayed pretty much the same from 0.51 to 0.44. Highest sold there was 640,000, and it was a very nicely remodeled home, which you'll see in the next part. Lowest sold was 170,000. Average sales price 332,590. When I started collecting all this data like 4.5 years ago, I remember when Maricopa was only 220,000 in average sales price. Now we're going to go to the highs and lows. So these are this is the highest that's sold in Casa Grande at 675, 324 days, very nice house. The one in Coolidge here sold for the same price, 675 at 104.6% of list. Florence was this very nice home in Anthem at Mail Ranch, 590,000, 17 days at 98.3% of list price. And Maricopa had this one at 640,000, 46 days, 98.5% of list price. So if you go to this link, copy this link in a separate window on your phone or your desktop, and you will have access to all the pictures and the sold information for all 8 of these listings above. And this is the sales price to list price ratio illustration to show you. This is for the whole Phoenix metro area. Mobile homes were basically 99.9%, so basically 100%. The average sales price of them from 150 to 300 was 223, 156. Single family homes from 250 to 350 was 103.8%. That is the highest sales price to list price ratio of all categories. And very much why, because that's where a lot of buyers, there's more buyers in that price range than anything else. And then 350 to 500 was also pretty high, 101.5. 500 to 750 was 102.4% of list. And then once you go over $1 million, then it finally starts to go below 100%, all the way down to 5 million and up, goes to 94.1%. So here is the most important part for first-time home buyers. Mobile homes from 150,000 to 300,000, 191 of them sold throughout the whole Phoenix area. So only 36 were sold FHA, and 69 were conventional, 42 were cash. Single family, 250 to 350, the most competitive range here, aside from the 350 to 500. 2,271 were sold, 386 were sold on the FHA, 1,000 conventional, and 589 cash. So between this 1,000 and 589, that's nearly 1,600 units out of 2,271. So you do the math on that. I would rather have a 70% chance of getting under contract than a 25 or 30% chance of getting under contract. So do whatever you can necessary to get a conventional loan. We have Home Ready and Home Possible programs for that, where you can get a 3% conventional loan. There are certain qualifications that you will have to meet for debt to income ratio and income limit. And I go over that in the Home Ready, Home Possible video that I have on the YouTube channel. Single family homes like $1 million to $2 million, 208 sold conventional and 141 were cash out of 424. Go to 5 million, only 19 homes were sold and 1 was conventional, 10 were sold cash. And now here is the real estate synopsis. So on September 30th, we had 8,037 that were active. And then October, we had 8,828. And then on January 20th, right after the new year, we had a whole bunch of buyers come in from California or other places, and we drove it down to 5,385. And then we've been below 5,000 active in February, March, April, and May. And for this month, we finally went over 5,000, and we stayed over 5,000 so far this month at 5,582 on June 14th. So we sold 9,670 last month versus 10,200 in April, 10,400 in March. So our inventory rate is going up a little bit. So that's a little bit of relief for buyers, but not too much. It's for sellers, it's still a very hyper-intensive seller market. So don't worry about that. The Cromford Market Report does show a market drop in demand here for all 17 cities. If you can see all of those, to have a perfectly balanced market here, then it would be 100 would be the number to be totally balanced. So even Paradise Valley, which is a luxury market, 347.9, that's far from 100, just to show you that illustration. And then Pinal County cities, Casa Grande had only 2.9% less transactions, only 5 less for May than in April. Average sales price was $293.94 versus $210,523 from exactly a year ago at 37.9% appreciation. Coolidge was 48.9% higher in number of transactions, 23 more because of the new builds. 241,118 was the May number for last month versus 165,257 in May 2020. So that is a whopping 45.9% increase in average appreciation. Florence was 9.5% more in transactions than in April. 286.41 was the number for last month versus 217,976 in May of 2020. And Maricopa was 332,590 versus 252,104 in May of 2020. So that's 31.9%, nearly 32% of average annual appreciation growth in Maricopa. And Coolidge does lead the highest in appreciation of these 4 cities. So of the 70 that were sold in May 2021, 35 of them, half of them were new builds. 35 of the 70 were new builds. Just to show you why Coolidge is a great place to invest. So I hope this gives you some insight as to what is happening. If you find this video very interesting, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and share this video with some friends or anyone that you know that is looking for any type of real estate assistance. And we will take excellent care of them, give you very good advice, as we always do. And we hope that you use us as your realtor preferred choice. But if you are represented by another realtor, make sure that they have that information about the sales price to list price ratio and why it is so imperative to get a conventional loan. So that way you can get under contract. And if you have any questions about any of this material, feel free to give me a call at 480-999-6061. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.